And welcome back, everybody. We are once again back with another podcast. Yes, we are. Last week was a little light, I'll be real with you, but also I forgot what day it was, and I'm pretty sure everybody else here did.
Mm,
So
mm, mm,
things happen, but it was a rather light
mm.
week. For this week, we actually got 4 topics, got 2 bonus topics for members, which will be Spider-Man and all the villains in that film and whatever's going on, and Sony buying WB. But for today's show, we're going to talk about X-Men, Fantastic Four 2, Batman and Superman crossover, and Marvel adding a 4th film to 2028. So whatever happened to 2 films, out the window. So we'll talk about all that. But of course, before we get there, as always, I am your host, Armin, and I am here. You guys can also find me over here on the link trees and whatever I do, wherever I do it. So I'm there. And as always, I am joined by Mitch.
You can find me on the link trees. Yeah, down here somewhere.
And
And on the
also
Mitch
on
692 channel.
I'm going to say they're in the community tab because now things just post on the community tab for once in
It's
timely
so
manner.
nice that it works. It's crazy.
They it only took
Crazy.
17 years, but YouTube fixed it.
Mm.
Never
Never known anyone work so hard and so quick. God damn.
It's true. It's true. They're operating as functionally as the United States, so maybe not that functionally. Yeah. See what I did there? But speaking of that, we are also joined by Tristan.
Same thing. Link trees, just in wherever they are. Follow me. It's trying to do things. It's really it's early for me, so.
Yeah, so we are here. It's going to be a good show, everybody. As a reminder, this show will drop on Sunday, presumably. If you guys want it early without ads or anything, just like all the member stuff, check out the member section. Not mandatory, but you get a couple extra videos every week and more discussions and stuff. So that's there. And of course, no ads on the podcast. So there you go. Outside of that, we do have a rather good show here for you guys. So we're not going to burn too much time. I'll be real with you. We're just going to get right into it. So let's get into our first topic, which is we officially got a director for X-Men. Yes.
Is it official?
So this is a weird one, right? This is very weird.
Because I don't know who actually tweeted it first, because there's nothing on Twitter. But
yeah, so we saw like Variety, and it got passed around that Jake Schreier, the man who directed Thunderbolts, was officially hired to direct X-Men. And then within like an hour, a bunch of those links came down in all the reports. Now, there's 2 ways to look at this. Do you guys remember when it was reported that Elden Ring had a director, and then that tweet and article got taken down? And then 3 weeks later, everybody was like, oh, it's true. So they might have jumped to confirm this by accident. Which,
it's like, because what I saw I actually saw it from the CBC Facebook page. And I was like, I Googled it. There was literally nothing there. I was like, well, that's weird. So I went to the group to try and find the link, and someone had posted the Heroic Hollywood, I think it was, tweet or thread or whatever it was, and it's sourced Variety. So I was like, cool, Variety's obviously got it. And it's like, well, there's nothing from Variety. That thing's not on any accounts. I was like, either someone's deleted it or I don't know. But if it's true, cool.
It's like either that or they hid the link because that's true.
Yeah, I followed up on it, and here's what happened. So I'm looking it up right now. I got the article right here. Unfortunately, you can't see it because the bright screen. So it was X-Men lands Jake Schreier, director of Thunderbolts, but the article changed to Marvel adds possible 4th movie to 2028 slate, and then
they did it in that. Okay,
so they changed the headline, but the search engine optimization is still the Thunderbolts thing, which again, it has happened where they change it and the original URL doesn't update for sometimes up to 48 hours. So weird scenario, but best possible pick, in my opinion. Like,
sure, Thunderbolts is really good, so why not?
Yeah. Like, what makes me think that this is a great pick is he managed, along with the writers, of course, to take all these characters that people weren't really familiar with because, hey, the box office and the reception of the Disney Plus shows you such, and make people understand who they are. Like, I know people who never watched The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, no idea who John Walker was. They were like, huh, I like that character. That's pretty cool. You know, they did a good job. I was like, okay, so they understood the mission of introducing these characters. So that just makes me think that they got something here that they wanted to stick with, because again, X-Men, you're kind of doing that same thing, you know? It's like it's a bunch of characters we've never seen before, especially in a reboot. So,
well, that's if they do a bunch of characters never seen before. They could quite easily just go, cool, here's the same 5 people you've seen for 20 years.
Oh, that'd be boring.
That's just, essentially what it is that they're going to go with familiar to the casual crowd instead of what most people people that have been would like is, like, you know, just a mixture of new and old and old characters coming into the group instead of, you know, here's the 5 or 6 that are the most popular and most well known, you know, go wild. So
like, part of me does want the original 5 just to get them right.
Yeah,
but if they don't, I'm cool either way. No.
To me, if you can toss an Angel in there from the right out the gate, I'm in. But I don't want them to be like, okay, remember the ones from Fox? We got to use those because those are familiar. It's like, no, please don't. Please just don't. No, just give us proper X-Men, you know, like, and do it in a way that we can sort of build them up. Like, I want Beast to be the human form first, just like he was in the original, you know, and then slowly evolve him. Like, I'm hoping that's what they do. And I trust that with the way that he handled this, and they've had the script writers for this for well over 2 years, they got to have hammered out something real solid.
You'd hope so.
You would hope so, right?
Imagine if X-Men turns into Blade, like, yee.
That's really what I hope too, because like I want like humanitarian Beast, not current. Oh, they tried to change him back in recent years, but before he was the really species Beast that you don't want to have at parties. So,
so you got to have a new hot toy for Beast every movie, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
so like what, you want him to progressively get hairier until you know he's full on like Catman?
Yeah. They better go with the cat look too.
I like all the horns he gets at one point for reasons. No.
That'd be something. Well, it's like they already got the most comic accurate look you could in the Marvels, so you can't really just. Like,
that's a comic accurate look.
Yeah, that's true. There's plenty of them. No, like, I don't know. There's a lot of excitement here. I think that if they got a director now, they're looking to shoot this by early next year, clearly, because once you lock in the director, you're going to start casting. So this is within 3 years away. It's after Secret Wars, guaranteed. So it's probably 2028 that year. Again, we'll talk about the other movie, but as I said before, I think May 28 is when we get this movie. I think this is your big summer blockbuster.
Yeah, probably.
Because, like, it just seems to fit, you know? It seems like the opportune location for it. I could be wrong, but it seems like that's where you would want to push your big...
When's Star Wars out, though?
What's that?
This thing, you say that, the thing that they moved Marvel to December for.
Right, so you remember that Rey movie? Yeah, that's the new 4th Marvel film we're going to talk about later. So that Rey film has disappeared, and we got a Star Wars film the next
doing a
2
crossover?
Mays. So it's like, what's going on with Star Wars? So maybe you could release a Star Wars film in May of that year, but I would also assume that goes back to like the end of May, because they seem to want to corner that. Like, I don't know, Star Wars is in a weird place with release dates now, because they were associated with Christmas, but now Marvel and Avatar are taking Christmas from Star Wars, so I don't know.
But at the same time, Star Wars was always May before, so
yeah.
Release dates are funky. No.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a bit weird. They're all over the place. So I don't personally know. I'm just excited we're getting updates on X-Men. It feels like, I mean, we have been talking about this for like 6 years, and finally it's like it's going to happen. And not to their fault, because when they acquired Fox, that first Comic-Con, Kevin Feige was like, "One more thing, we're working on X-Men and Fantastic Four," and then literally just like got pushed off stage. It was like, oh, he had to drop that in there, It's like, but we always knew Fantastic Four would be first anyway, because they haven't got that right ever. So it's yeah.
It's crazy that it's been that long since they actually got Fox.
Right? It's been like what?
It's kind of crazy.
7 years? 7 years?
Something like that, yeah.
Wild.
Crazy.
It feels like a couple of years ago, but not really, That pandemic 3 year.
Time is broken.
Wild. Just wild. So any closing thoughts on this here X-Men future and the director?
I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
It's just I'm okay. It's just want to know like what direction they're taking it in, and when they do do the first movie, are they gonna go slow, or are they gonna do something like the Fantastic Four, where they've been here a little bit, but they've been under the radar for the most part?
I think if it's after Secret Wars, definitely. I think you have the X-Men is your first movie of stuff really is different.
Yeah.
We've changed everything. Here's your first look at the big thing that is different.
Right.
So they've always been here, but obviously they always haven't.
So that's the thing. Like, they got a February release date for 28. That's Black Panther 3 guaranteed. That doesn't have to mention mutants at all, because it's such a secluded.
No, but
place.
It's gonna.
Like, it's gonna, but it's like you don't have to be like, "Where's that Professor X?" Like
Oh, I bet you do. I bet. It would not surprise me if you have like Xavier show up and be like, "I'm just going to take this one and you, and I'm going to go home to America and put you in my house."
Listen to me, T'Challa. You got a black girl here that shoots lightning and summons lightning. I need her for a reason.
There is that. It could just be Storm. You could just have, they would clearly bring T'Challa back. Why not post Secret Wars have T'Challa with Storm?
This brings up a piece of the conversation where you have a British man entering an African country and taking what he wants. I just want to say,
I would just like it to be known the French are far worse at that than us.
French are worse.
And he's gonna force dangerous training to control her powers. Because she doesn't know how to.
It builds character. It's fine.
Don't worry, she'll be 100% fine in the basement of my mansion, fighting giant simulated robots that can actually kill her.
What could go wrong? What do you mean the danger room's a problem?
Go wrong.
It's fine. Danger room's perfectly safe. I built it that way.
And they have levels that you can accidentally upgrade to.
That's got no child luck on it.
Yeah.
Also, because of Marvel Rivals, there's a thick Emma Frost, but there's an undertone of she's never actually dressed like those comic issues. She just makes people think she's dressed for the Gooners. Ah, yes.
That's like the ultimate thought. You can't. How do you go above that?
I can hear Ricardo screaming right now.
Which makes me think that Emma Frost is not that thick in real life. No, she's just like you're flat as a board, front and back, white woman.
So First Class.
Yeah,
I kind of did that. Yeah. Although I love January Jones, I thought she was good for the role, but yeah, that wasn't really Emma the way people picture Emma. So she's got to be in this film as well. I would assume.
So it is kind of weird with this little fun fact is that the reason why she's put off, like for people to know, the reason why she's put off from Steve Rogers is because Steve Rogers, apparently his mother looks like Emma Frost, and that's why. Yeah.
So what you're saying is that Steve has got that same complex as Ultron.
Kind of, but not really. It's just that for some reason, I don't know why the writers did that. Is that for some reason Steve's mom is almost the exact copy of Emma Frost, and that's why he sees his mother in her, and then that's why she gets kind of creeped out by it.
Or is Emma just pushing that willingly so there's no tension between them? Huh? She's making him see.
Either way, it's a bit weird.
It is, yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not. It's like it's part of the course for X-Men because you have them being like numb to dying, and then them having like.
I thought you were going to say incest isn't anything new to X-Men. I was like, oh no.
I mean, it's that, but I wanted to go. No. I wanted to go for like the team stuff, not that.
So what you're saying is no like island orgies with the Krakoa. Right.
Well, I was going.
Not yet.
But yeah, it's that and fetuses boxing it out in the womb. So yeah. So
if that's not the opening scene, I don't want it.
I don't want it anymore. Listen to us, Marvel. Well, I suppose that'll do it for that because we're just going to jump on to the next topic. Fantastic Four 2 has entered development. Okay.
If it was down to James Gunn, it would be called Fantastic Four 2.
Yeah. I don't like subtitles. Yeah, we know, James. We know.
Yeah, hence Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3.
Yeah. So, okay. This is a given, right? Especially if the film does well in box office, which, again, the box office is tracking much higher than it was previously. Now it's tracking like 90 to 150. So, okay.
Was Superman looking at 200 as well, though?
Yeah, actually, I just added a Superman topic after this about box office since the numbers are coming in now. So we are going to talk about that. I remembered, thank God.
See, we do have a good show.
Yeah, we do. See, I didn't make that up.
I mean, hopefully this does well. I'm at the point with Marvel movies where I wouldn't be surprised if it makes like 300-400 and that's it. But
yeah,
if it makes over, great.
Even Marvel's best film in a couple years, Thunderbolts, manages to not be profitable and actually a major loss for them, which is absolutely insane.
Yet no one's going to call it a flop like Eternals, even though Eternals made more.
Yeah, it's no. Are you pointing at me? Get out of here.
Not on camera.
Yes,
there's no visual evidence of it. He's over that way.
Well, that's the thing with like Fantastic Four. I feel like they have to show confidence with this one, right? You have to. If they don't, it's going to become very problematic. And I think like even if this film does, let's say 450 max, right? It just barely makes a profit from what we know. Still an issue, right? Like still. So they have to commit to it, be like, no, you're going to get it. We guarantee it. And it's like, okay, well, they got to be confident with it because if you show signs of being like, well, if it does good at box office, you might be messaging subliminally to some people that it's like they're not confident with it, you know? It's like, it's I don't know about that. So I don't know. Like, where do you guys think this thing lands with box office and reviews?
Review wise, I'd hope it would be decent. Oh, you don't want it to come out and people be like, oh, it's terrible.
Which is really weird. Is like if it does bad, people will blame like the current politics of what Disney's been doing for the past couple of years, and not see it anyway. Or you can get glowing reviews, but if it's not something that is appealing, or it's not the characters that appeal to them, or they won't give it a chance, then it's not going to do well either. So it's like,
yeah.
You've also you got that problem of, do I have to see this movie?
Yeah.
Is this movie a must see? I think I'd hope a lot of it recently for Fantastic Four, it would be a yes.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to see that this is their first crack at it.
I mean, the fact that Kevin Feige's out there being like, this is directly leading into Doomsday, go see it.
There is that as well, yeah. So hopefully you'll give it a bit of a bump, but we'll see. We'll see. Also, current economic climate, people aren't rushing to movies, so
no. There's all sorts of factors, and again, especially for July of this year, we've talked about it. You got 3 blockbusters. Now, if you go back to when Fantastic Four came out, the original one in like 2004, 2005, right? That was one blockbuster of like 8 for that entire year, and 8 is pushing it. Like they used to do like 4 blockbusters maybe a year. So now we're in a different territory completely where it's blockbusters staggered on one another, and it's looking pretty positive for the new Jurassic World and for Superman from early reactions. Especially Jurassic World had an entire screening, and they said Garrett Edwards does essentially Rogue One dinosaurs, and people are like, no, this is like, it's more in your face and visceral. So I'm like, okay,
no,
you didn't like Edwards? Because like,
I mean, he's fine. It's just the combination of Jurassic World and Rogue One. Like,
see, I really like Rogue One. I loved his film, The Creator, which that was another Disney Searchlight film. I love that film. So I didn't even know he directed at the time I went and watched. I was like, oh, now I see it. Like he knows how to use no money.
Oh no, I did watch that movie. Yeah. God, I completely. I adored that movie as well.
He's good. I like him. So again, there's stiff competition, like you said, climate of everything. What do you think they do for Fantastic Four 2? What direction you going? Because
I mean, that's kind of hard to tell with them being in 2 movies before.
Yeah.
Inhumans.
I was about to say, you better say what I'm thinking. Inhumans is the correct answer. Yep.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I know why you wouldn't, because people are puss. But yeah, that's how I would go anyway. Yeah. I'd lean into the whole explorer thing and say, hey, let's explore this new world that's just been literally created. But hey, here's the Savage Land, here's this, here's that, here's the blue dark side of the moon.
See, I like that you're saying that, because that was my idea. It's like, hey, Secret Wars, you got to reform everything into a sacred timeline, right? Inhumans exist in the multiverse. We already saw Earth 838. So they literally get, the Inhumans get transplanted onto the moon, and it's like, oh, they've been there the whole time. But revisionist history because of Secret Wars. And Reed is like, did you guys ever notice what's up there? It's like, what? Start the conflict. Therefore, you ground the Fantastic Four into this reality, but also it's just a new concept that they're fighting. So it's like, it's kind of perfect, I would say. And then you can do the whole Inhumans X-Men type of dealio. Like, I do think Inhumans is honestly the perfect choice for the sequel, especially since they're using up like 4 different villains in this Fantastic Four. So it's
yeah. I know. I'd also, you could really bring it down and just have it be like, just have Crystal be in it.
Yeah.
Just have her and Johnny be a thing, and then maybe Lockjaw's at the end or whatever.
Oh man.
And you save the rest of them for the 3rd one, but
yeah.
What, Lockjaw comes in, starts ruining the place.
Yes.
Going to the bathroom everywhere. Johnny's telling Reed, like, did you get a bulldog?
It's not just a bulldog, it's a big boy. Yeah. That's one way you could take it, right? You just have Crystal be a thing.
And that's how we can then properly just go have Medusa show up and be like, Kamala, they're lying to you. You're an Inhuman.
Yeah.
And then everything is right.
Boy, is an absolute idiot. Don't listen to him.
Yeah, no, they're not going to do that.
that music you hear playing every time he opens his mouth, that's lies.
That's a lie.
It's like, at most, they're just going to say you're some freak hybrid Inhuman.
Wow, he dropped the F-bomb. Wow. God damn.
Well, we all know.
Let's be honest.
We all know mutants and Inhumans do not care if there's a freak among them that doesn't look human.
The X-Men give a crap.
No,
humans don't. Humans embrace it.
Humans know different.
X-Men are like, oh, you look different. Your powers
like, you look different. Yeah, you go in the sewers.
Man, the mutants oppress the Morlocks. You know they're racist.
We don't mention what humans do, but yes, you're right. No, have you ever noticed that only the human-looking X-Men get to be on the team?
Yeah. It's either the human-looking X-Men or the shapeshifters that can morph into human shape.
See, X-Men are racist.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah. He's like, we know you look like a mannequin, but can you confirm your gender and like stick to one?
Excuse
Are
me,
you a
what bathroom
talking
do you
door?
use? Yeah.
And it's literally the
Oh.
bathroom door. No.
Just watch the ending of Secret Wars is going to be Eldrax shows up and he saves whoever they want to save by teleporting them through his mouth.
Eldrax just a porta potty with no like sign saying which one it is. Because it's got to be a woke door now.
Senator Kelly's like, I'm not going through that. It's not labeled correctly.
Crazy.
He would too. He
Crazy.
would.
$1 billion right there.
Right there. Well, speaking of $1 billion, that's a good segue, Mitch. Our added topic, Superman box office has been revised. So a couple weeks ago, we were looking at 150 to $200 million.
Not bad.
And
Not bad.
right now, the latest numbers came in from Deadline. We are looking at 90 to 145.
That's kind of crazy.
That is a drop.
Mm.
Man.
I mean, I guess when you've got people too scared to go outside because goose steppers in your streets, I don't blame them. But yeah,
let's be politically correct, Mitch. Here, they are the Taco Gestapo.
Taco Gestapo. They're the guacamole in the taco.
I'm looking right now. So Man of Steel opened with 116 million. And it made 670 million worldwide. Okay, that's not too bad.
Well, yeah, it's
we know it didn't make a thing because of Deadline.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's you could say you could say that that it's possibly to that where not enough people feel safe to go out and about during the summer. It's like for me, I'm just glad that if it makes upwards north of 100, that it's good. It's a good sign that people want to see this type of hero, this type of Superman, no matter how much the vacuum states that we're gonna spoil everything and ruin it because we want our version of Superman because it is the best version, which it isn't.
No,
let's just be honest.
I think like the way I look at this scenario, if it opens with as little as 95 up to 110, that's iffy territory. 110 to 125, all right. 125 and above, that's a win. I think that's how you got to look at it because, again, per what was stated, and this was more or less confirmed by every trade, they need to make 700 million to break even. And James Gunn just said in another interview that he just did, as these numbers dropped, he dropped the quote of, box office isn't important to me. It's about the fans, like what. So there's already
it's just the reaction to it as opposed to the box office.
Right. And what else has happened is that, again, I mentioned in the last topic when we talked about it in the podcast, Jurassic World is tracking pretty good. And again, dinosaurs always sell. It's children. It's never not going to sell. So I think that there's a bunch of factors that they're looking at. And I think realistically, that $1 billion that's always been there, I honestly never saw what people were looking at unless I was missing something. But this film would have to be like 100% on Rotten Tomatoes and have no competition to do $1 billion. That's what I feel.
The whole thing with $1 billion now is just that billion's the benchmark for a win. If a movie doesn't make $1 billion, then it's a failure.
Yeah.
People have how do I put it? Because we get such a look behind the curtain now, people think they know how everything works when they don't. It's the whole Dunning-Kruger effect, right? You got no experience, but you think you know how everything works. And $1 billion's the baseline for a successful thing now.
It's like, because Marvel made $1 billion, was the common. And looking at Superman, we know they need like 701 million to break even on the box office, right? The moment they pass 700,
is it that much for break even? I could have sworn it was.
So
there was something more to it.
The budget was confirmed to be 250, like the budget for just making the film, and then the marketing, and then the theatrical cut. But the thing people always forget, the important thing about comic book films is merchandise helps offset losses.
Yeah.
Like,
so like if they have a bunch of kids just buying up Superman merch for the first time in years,
yep.
then they're more than willing that it didn't make $1 billion, but look all this money we made off of Superman toys.
And like, again, this is commonplace in other properties. People know Ninja Turtles and Transformers haven't had a box office hit in a decade.
Yes.
Guess what ends up on 5 top toy sales every year?
It's all the 30-somethings buying up all the action figures.
It's true. It's literally
even
true.
the 30-somethings for Transformers, they don't have the same power they did anymore.
No,
yeah, because
where's those Transformers 1 sequels, huh?
No,
they can't buy the multiple 100 plus figures anymore. So
they've all run out of space and they're like 10 by 10 apartments. So.
That's true too. I know a guy and like he was showing off his collection. I was like, bro, your house is just everything, every wall. He was like, kind of out.
How can you fit that Ultron figure? I make it fit.
It's
wasn't that thing like $600?
Yeah, dude.
Worth every penny.
There's some people that got that giant, it's the giant collectors, and that's kind of like that helps drive box office. People don't realize that Superman, it can make less and still be profitable. It's going to move units. It's going to move merch. The Superman shirt alone moves enough because it's the S and people just love that. Anybody named Sean in the United States, if they're a drug dealer, they have a Superman tattoo. And if they're not, they have a Superman shirt. Okay. Like that's, I know 3 Sean.
How are you spelling Sean? How are you spelling Sean?
Both ways, but the one you think would be the drug dealer is the one that's most commonly associated with the drug dealings. So let that be whatever you think it is. It's
no, I think this movie's in a very interesting spot. It's I'm going to make a comparison I haven't made in ages. It's the same place at where Bungie is with Destiny right now. Like they thought they were in the revenue part, and there's 3 stages. There's trust, retention, and revenue. Like Bungie thought they were in revenue, but they're back to trust. Like DC is currently in the trust part, so don't worry about your revenue and your profits. Just get the trust of people. Then you get you keep those people. Then you worry.
And it's true. It's true. I broke free of Destiny. Like 2,000 hours. I quit cold turkey. Haven't gone back. I had like a notification on Steam about to come back, and I saw that 2,000 hours on Steam. I was like, I'm good.
You know how like you can break down PlayStation by most played hour video games? They added that with like the PS4 or PS5. I can't remember. So I went and finally did that the other day. Destiny 1 is my most played with like 495 hours. I was like, I spent almost 500 hours on Destiny 1. What is
rookie numbers?
God, I know. Dude, one of my friends, I'm like, bro, I don't how you've played this game more than you've done breathing somehow. Like, what is this?
I played 400 hours of Destiny 1 in a weekend.
Just time traveling here.
It's crazy. But no, DC's in that we have to build the trust part of it. Don't worry about anything else. I think even the shareholders kind of know that with them cutting Zaslav's bonuses and pay not decimate. He's still making like 700 million in bonuses or whatever. But
it's just like we're gonna make your golden parachute smaller, okay?
It's still gold. Don't worry. It's not one of these. It's a tiny.
I'm still mad at the revelation that we could have gotten a reboot at Megas XLR, but because of the sale, he said no, and I'm like, I hate.
We're still gonna pay you multiple millions. It's fine.
It was a good show. I'm so mad at that.
Bro, I can't believe this is the second time somebody's mentioned Magus XLR this week, and how does this happen? Nobody's mentioned it for 20 years. What?
It was a good show.
Like COVID, one person gets it and then it just spreads.
Because they showed how it feels to go to the DMV and what everyone wants to do.
That's true, yeah. Man, what a throwback. There's a bunch of people that are right now, they're listening to this, they weren't even born when that thing was on the air.
Yeah, they're like, what makes this XLR? It goes in, it's a American mecha show, and I was like, why hasn't anyone said anything about this? Well, they tried, and originally it got into the ether as a tax write-off.
Yep.
And then the books come back and, oh no, it actually made money overseas, so we can like roll it back. But then Zaslav said, yeah, no, we're not doing it.
And now it's like stuck in forever limbo with
Yeah.
write-offs.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's how it goes. Well, you know what? Let's jump on to our next topic, because we can go from Superman to Batman v Superman, Dawn of James Gunn's Justice, possibly. So this is very interesting, because the last couple months, James Gunn has made it a point to talk about a Superman sequel, but when he talks about it, he says it's not Superman 2, it's something else, and he teases a crossover. So most people are like, hold up. Is it Batman and Superman? Before we get Brave and the Bold, we're going to get Batman and Superman teaming up. And
I don't think he does that.
I don't think so either.
Would it be like, what is it, World's Finest? Would it be something
that
like
would be it, yeah. You'd have to do that.
Or like,
Unless it is, if he wants
Yeah.
to go Batman and Superman, just to really twist the knife in a little bit, that'd be kind
Yeah.
of funny. But I don't
It's
think,
just
I don't
like,
think
you
he
know,
does it.
it's like, because like, it's like they're fighting together, but they're not together. So, you know, can it really be a Batman v Superman movie and not a Batman and Superman movie? So, you know,
Unless he wants to get
Yeah.
extra trolled and he puts the S in the verses because it's not a court case.
yeah.
Or he puts
Oh.
the S in and it is just a court case.
Just watch. James is going to dig up that old Batman Superman logo from I Am Legend and use that for his movie.
Mm.
It's going to be a full circle
Classic.
moment.
Classic.
It's just going to be like, wait,
It
what?
finally happened. Yeah.
Uh,
And who would? I don't think it'll be a Batman crossover. I don't think he does that. But who else it could be?
I mean, we also know, because of merchandise leaks, they probably didn't want this one to leak out, but pins, patches, and t-shirts that feature the Hall of Justice from Superman have all hit the market now. So the Hall of Justice is there, and it literally says the Hall of Justice, and it's that building in Ohio. Now, the second leg of the shoot was in Ohio, and they literally said, we're not shooting there, but we saw cameras at the building they use as the Hall of Justice. So it's like, come on. Like, what? Come on, James. Like, so is it maybe like a Justice League proto film, like Superman and the Justice League? Or maybe, yeah.
Superman, the Super Friends.
Yeah. Oh, that would honestly be real good. That'd be a good step to do it.
I think if you have a movie with Super Friends in it, you're killing yourself off. But
I think, you obviously use the characters he's currently got. You bring Hawkgirl in there, Mr. Terrific, and add in a couple other characters. Supergirl, maybe.
Maybe that's how they bring in Mr. Terrific for the show.
Yeah. Hopefully they use
Mr. Miracle. Sorry, Mr. Terrific.
Yeah, Mr. Miracle. You're thinking, yeah.
Hopefully they use Black Lightning and not Black Vulcan. So,
yeah, Black Lightning. Honestly, yeah. How about Static?
Most like maybe because Static isn't like that involved with the Justice League, and
True,
and it's even tied into that weird thing about that weird thing why Black Lightning wasn't on the Justice League. It was Black Vulcan because DC didn't want to pay royalty fees.
Sure.
to the creator of Black Lightning, and it comes full circle to Static Shock when during his animated series run, that's why Black Lightning wasn't in it, and it was switched to Soul Power because they didn't want to pay again the creator of Black Lightning. So yeah,
Soul Power feels like a really white name that someone's made up.
It was
just like what do we call this guy?
It's weird because McDuffie was a part of that too. So yeah. But that's why I hope that if they do they have Black Lightning and not just we're not gonna pay the estate for Black Lightning and we're gonna go with Black Vulcan because
I would say there's a pattern forming, but that would be a disservice to the pattern that's been there for like 100 years. Good old DC. Good old Big Two even. That's
yeah.
DC,
I'm both doing the same thing. Maybe that's. I mean, Maybe that's what this crossover is going to be. Instead of Batman and Superman, it's Superman and whichever characters we don't have to pay royalties for.
Yeah. Superman v the public domain because they're about to lose him.
Well, did you also see that giant James Gunn loving the smell of his own farts statement, which made me laugh so hard?
That's been every statement from Gunn since he's done.
True. But this one was next level. He was like, there's a project that we kept off the slate for chapter 1 because it's so next level that the moment we mention it, everybody's going to want to rip it off. And I'm like, this dude has now sniffed his own farts so bad he doesn't even realize it anymore.
I think you took that in a slightly more egotistical way than I did. I like the idea that he thinks he's got this really good idea and he doesn't want Marvel to copy it.
Yeah,
because they know full well. He even says, we talk to each other all the time. Like we talked about a crossover a million times. Like, I genuinely think he believes he has this like golden bullet for the DCU.
What it can't be Crisis on Infinite Earths.
No, because they're doing Secret Wars, right?
Right.
So
it's
like, not going to be that.
My whole theory is like I think he's literally saying Blackest Night without saying Blackest Night.
Then Marvel's doing Marvel Zombies, right?
But see. The Knights have
no one's going to watch it.
Lanterns. And nobody's going to watch it. That's also a thing, yes. Like, I suspect, here's my pitch. It's Blackest Night, but what he's going to do is make it a multiverse thing where he brings back, like, Cavill as zombie Superman. It's like a
But then that's just him copying Secret War.
But zombies, Mitch! Zombies!
I'm excited. I hope he gets to do that idea, and I hope when he announces it, he's like, "This is my idea." But
yeah,
I know. I'm excited the way he's going to take it. If he's that excited about an idea, he doesn't want to tell anyone about it for fear of Marvel copying. Then cool.
Yeah,
I'm all for it.
I just hope it's good. I hope it's good. And
for his sake, I hope it's really good. And he's going to announce it, everyone's going to be like, "That sucks."
True.
Of course they are, but
well, let's jump on to our last topic because Variety was the one to confirm it, and this was directly from Disney and Marvel confirming it to them to break the story. So a 4th Marvel Studios film for 2028 has been confirmed. So now we got one early February, early May, early November, and mid-December. 4 films from the MCU the year after Secret Wars.
At least there's a break, but that's a lot.
That's a lot. I mean, like,
I want to know what happened to this 2 movies and 3 shows idea. When does that start?
Yes, that's when it starts.
Yeah.
Imagine if Sony comes out there like, "Hey, Spider-Man filmed that July as well."
Oh no.
We'll just have to breathe Marvel all year long. I can't do that. That's too much Marvel.
I can't do that again. No,
that's too much.
But ignore everything we said like 5 years ago when we were really excited for.
Yeah, I can kind of get it why they're trying to do that is because like during the negotiations for the sound effects crew is that like Marvel wants to try and use or help them use AI for the synthetic characters, so it speeds up the process to making the CGI for them, so they can have like CGI or AI help and model most of the CGI work to expedite that to hopefully make the process cheaper. But I'm not so sure, so that's probably why they're hopefully thinking that we can do this again. But it's up in the air at this point.
But have they got a year of 2 movies, 3 shows between now and then?
No. Well, I mean, there's 2 movies and a TV show with Doomsday, Spider-Man, and Daredevil next year, but that's it. So like, and I guess the Punisher
Quest.
We don't know.
Yeah, it'll come when they finally figure out to do it.
I swear, honestly.
Yeah, it's like it'll come out when they finally figure out what to do with Blade.
Now, I got
Why
a
is
wild.
Vision Quest hard to play?
Yeah.
Why?
Does Vision
'Cause
feature a black person as well? Is that what you're getting at, Tristan?
No, he was a he was a colored person, colored synthetic, and then he went white. And
Now,
I guess they don't want to.
I like how
they don't want to
nobody
get colored
here is mentioning the disrespect to Armor Wars.
Hey,
I have made peace.
Cheeto went on
Yeah.
record on Good Day America that what's Armor Wars. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I've made peace that I will never see that.
Same. Yeah. Now here's my wild theory. So I think the December 17th, 2028 date is Secret Wars Part 2. I think they're splitting it up.
I've seen that rumor going around for the last couple of months. I don't know if I buy it. That would be insane if they do a 2-part.
It would.
They just knock a trilogy out there and then. That'd be crazy.
3 years in a row, 3 Avengers films, which, again, this brings me back to something Bob Iger said around 2015, 2016, when talking about Age of Ultron and the next Avengers films. He said at that time that they wanted something Avengers branded every year going forward once the decade was over. And I'm like,
but we've just had the new Avengers.
Yeah.
Next year we've got the Avengers.
And then Avengers.
Maybe
Secret
that's
Wars.
what they do. We have Avengers Doomsday, New Avengers Secret Wars, Avengers Secret Wars. And then we do that.
And then you take 5 years off to establish X-Men and New Avengers, and then you do Avengers versus X-Men. It's. I honestly think it's Part 2. A piece of me just feels like the Russo brothers. Like that's why the delays and everything happened, and like,
if part of me wouldn't be upset about it because Secret Wars is not a one and done movie. That's why I wanted the Battle World stuff in between Doomsday and Secret Wars.
Yep.
And I think I don't know. I guess if it is fine, but I think that'd be a risk.
It would, yeah. Be ballsy. It's like one of those things where you guys remember. My God, it's like 7 years ago at this point. There was rumors that Justice League was going to be split into Part 1 and Part 2. And once Snyder left, it was one part. But when he came back into the Snyder cut, he confirmed
it was 2.
Yeah, we were looking at a 2-parter. So there's money to be made in a Part 1 and Part 2 because we've seen, because after Harry Potter, everybody started to want to do Part 1, Part 2. Hence why you had Infinity War Part 1 and Part 2, but they changed.
Yeah, because you had Twilight Part 1 and Part 2. I think the Hunger Games did Part 1, Part 2. Everything since Harry Potter did Part 1 and Part 2.
That's why I think they could legitimately pull that out. Be like, hey guys, you're watching Doomsday. It released. Also, Secret Wars is next year. Guess what's the year after that? Because they don't have to confirm that till San Diego Comic-Con of next year. At the earliest.
Yeah, because it's coming. Yeah, it'll be out after Comic-Con, wouldn't it? Yeah.
So it's like, hey, here's Comic-Con. Here's your first look at Doomsday. Also, you remember Secret Wars and that mysterious date we got a year to the date after Secret Wars? And I've seen people say it's Spider-Man. It's not, because that would be a Sony date. Like Sony doesn't fall into the Disney slate, that they don't account for that. So
didn't they do something with Spider-Man at D23? Or am I
only that it was that announcement. It was weird because Tom Holland appeared on stage with Chris Pratt to talk about that gnome movie or elf movie or whatever. And somebody asked the Spider-Man question and they couldn't comment on it because it wasn't. So it was a weird scenario. Like,
yeah. I couldn't remember if I was thinking that actually was something or not. But
yeah.
It's one of those, like, what else could it be, really?
Yeah, I don't see what else has the power for December besides an Avengers or Spider-Man. And like, it ain't Blade, it ain't Armor Wars,
no.
It ain't Midnight Suns.
Eternals. It's Eternals too. I won.
No, man. Okay, if you're pulling out when it's Shang-Chi 2, boys, here we go.
No.
December with Shang-Chi.
Don't be silly. They're using his contract in Doomsdays. Actually, was he in Doomsday?
Yes, he is. And rumored he's also in Spider-Man. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, that would make sense, I guess.
Same director.
Yeah, that would make sense. I I mean, sure, go for it. Make it. Why not? Make Secret Wars a trilogy, kit. Give us a part 3 the year after.
What? Just each successive San Diego Comic-Con saying, "Yeah, we're gonna do another part because we need to tell the story we need to be told."
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
you have Doomsday's the they got to try and get the RDJ budget justifiable. So you have him be in 4 movies. So 50 million for 4 movies doesn't sound that bad anymore. And it's like, right, you got Doomsday, then you got Secret Wars Part 1, bunch of Battleworld movies, Part 2, bunch of Battleworld movies, Part 3. Damn.
Yeah. Man.
If it is a Part 2, then everything in between it has to be Battleworld.
100%. Yeah.
If it's not, they've dropped the ball entirely.
Or it's like it's a slight prequel taking place during Doomsday. It's like, oh,
so we're Ant-Manning it.
Yeah.
I guess
right in that gap.
I guess that's fine.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. So,
they're just like, where's some Secret Wars saga? no longer multiverse.
Honestly, it could be that. It could legit be that. So you never know, like what direction they could pull things in. I guess.
It's just a bunch of random movies to see what people like. We're going to try Kazar for 6 seconds and then never do him again.
One guy bought a ticket and it's this guy. Well,
testify you can get one guide on that.
No, it's like, well, we had enough of that. That was an experiment.
They never do that one again.
They've been working on the Kazar script since 2004. It's got to be the most polished script they got in their pocket.
Can you imagine the backlash if Marvel put out a Naked Man movie? In 2025, the year of our Trump? Like, no.
A naked guy who has a cat and a scantily, almost naked woman next to him. Yes.
Though, granted, thinking about it, that's probably what they want. Because it's old and it's just Schwarzenegger. But
hold on, I'm listening for Ricardo again. Do I hear him screaming yes? Ricardo just be like, "Yo, how thick is she though?" Oh, okay. Well, that's the metric.
Not very, because in the 80s you couldn't have thick women; they had to be skinny.
That's true. Now it's just pure thickness. That's how it goes. So, I guess we'll find out in the next year and a half what this secret film is. So, stay tuned, everybody.
Secret film, get it?
Oh. Yeah. So that has brought us to the end of the show. For the first time in a long time, we had 5 topics. That's
yeah.
That's wild. That hasn't happened. Like, worthy of actually talking about, discussing real topics. Thank you for checking out that video, and thank you for your continued support. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, do whatever you will. And if you're so inclined and would like some additional content from us, which includes unfiltered content and bonus discussions, we do offer exclusively in our member section. We hope to see you there. So thank you for watching, and have a good one.